Good morning. Morning. All right, they'll all start piling over here. I just was seeing, there's a couple of good morning, Nathan, good morning, good morning. Yeah, hey, yeah, definitely. Yeah, I was gonna just tell you, you're from, says you're near the Conroe area. I actually grew up in Humble, Texas, as a matter of fact. I'm a Houston boy myself, so. Mark. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Okay, here we all come. Now, I want to let everybody know that, so this video I ended up splitting. I don't know if my live thing I did yesterday worked out okay, so I just want to try to fill in some of that. Look at all these Texans, how about that? Yeah, just so you know, I still have family down there in College Station, Bryan area, as well as in Bernie, Texas. I do get down into the San Antonio area, and I get to Austin a lot. I have a lot of customers in Texas, so that's something that's pretty fun. Good morning, Alan. How are you? Good morning, Rich. Good morning. People are piling in. Good morning. Good morning. Anyway, so yesterday I was just chatting a little bit. I didn't even try. Look at this thing. It's just a mess. Has rolled out. Oh, this video split into two different ones. While I was doing this garden project, I actually did a lot on the lawn as well. And what I ended up wanting to do, once I got everything loaded and started to look at it, it was way too long, and I decided to break it up into two. So that's why we're gonna do the second. It's not really split like part one and part two, but tomorrow morning I'm gonna just do exactly what we're doing today. We'll come over here and just do this again, whatever tomorrow is, Thursday, I think. Yeah. So we'll do everything about the lawn over there. What's cool about that is this is taking place over a few days, and the progression in the lawn, I'm going to shoot a little bit extra over there today to finish up the video, and you guys are going to trip on that whole thing. So it's pretty cool. There was something else. It was very important. I'm trying to read these and think at the same time, and that doesn't really do well for me. So let me see if I can get back into it. I see a question here. Hold on, it popped up. James Moore. Morning, John. Good morning, James. Have you heard about the snow forecasted this weekend in the Northeast? I did hear about that. We'll see what you actually get. That could be fun. I mean, I get snow as late as June here, so it's not really that big a deal. Philly Candleman, if I spray out 700 from the ortho and it rains later, will that ruin? Nope, you'll be fine. Probably make it super dark. Don't even worry about it. Rank Up Gaming. Hey John, what is the ideal time to apply RGS? I already put down aerate and preem a few weeks ago, but now temps are dropping near freezing and lows next week. It's not too early. You can go ahead and do it. If you get a frost on your turf, it's not that big a deal. You might get a little bit of like tip or frost damage. It's going to mow out, and maybe you have a temporary stunting of growth, but don't worry about it. It's all going to grow out. So don't freak out about that kind of stuff. You can keep doing applications, and in some cases, if you get things down, it will mitigate some of that potential damage as well, just because more activity in the soil, more food in the soil, more mobility in the soil, more heat in the soil, you're going to get, you'll get less damage. How long should it take plugs to root in using the Bio-stim pack? Pretty fast. Yeah, I mean, actually really fast. You could see that within days. It's super, super fast. Any idea if your products? I don't know. Ryan, I got to be honest with you. With a lot of the stuff that's going on right now, it's hard to add a new layer of registrations. Now, I can check with one of the people that we've kind of hired out to help manage that whole situation and see if she could get us into Canada faster, we'll work on that and see if it looks like it. Maybe we can open up that market a little bit more. So I know that I have a lot of Canadians on here, and everything that we do would be no problem to fit into the rules and regulations of what's happening in Canada. So it might be a nice fit to be able to do that. The biggest concern is always going to be shipping. It's just going to be more costly to get over there. Okay, but that is something that I'll check on. I'll shoot an email over and find out a little bit about that. Can I mix RGS and 901 Green Start together when I apply post-germination? Also have the biostimulant. Should I throw down anything else in there too? Those two mix very well together. You can absolutely do that. No reason to overdo it. If you've just got some new seeds, go easy. Feed your babies light. Just let them kind of grow in strong. Don't try to overdo it. It's not really necessary. Best next products to use while attacking quackgrass. Honestly, 700. I like it. I like that a lot. Just a wonderful little additive to a tank if you're going to go in and do some spraying. I think it's a great way to go. Looking for the best way to treat wild Bermuda in my transition zone. Also, some creeping bent grass. I've tried treating it with tenacity for 2 years. I mean, honestly, that's one of your best bets, is just to keep consistent with the tenacity on it, and try to get that to roast out. The other thing, in your tall type, I mean, you can use something like the T-zone and go a little bit of a heavier rate. In the summertime, you should have a little bit of luck on the Bermuda with that. I think that could actually help with that as well. Would you recommend running RGS of 2601 and 1801 in the same tank mix? No problem with that. Also, totally fine. Most fastest released nitrogen as opposed to something slow release? Great question. If you're just looking for like growth and we're going over the counter, I mean, honestly, 1801 is going to be your best option because you're not going to be able to get like the 27% or 28% in charge. But that's going to be your best bet. And honestly, if you just spike it with a little bit of 700, if you're just looking for color, 700 is really all you're going to need. I mean, you can throw that down and it'll change color before your eyes. So try that. Derek Ortiz, dude. Well, you should have gotten it. I don't send out stickers. I actually have office people who do that. So shoot me an email with your address again. Let's make sure we have that. Best herbicide for clover. Again, I think that you can use T-Zone has that on the label as well. I think that's just a wonderful way to go with that extra triclopyr in there. But I guess it depends on what turf type you have. Have you tried pig's blood for a very green glass? You should check with the boys at Rikers Island about that. They might have some of that. Grease pot for seeding if the soil's already high in peat. Something to take a look at is even if you do have high phos in the soil, and this is something actually I talked to Alan about when he did the project, putting in the turf out at the factory. The name escapes me right now when he went out there and did that. There's high P in the soil in Florida as well, and we used green pop out there, and it's mainly just for the initial energy, and it's not going to make a major change to your overall P levels. And it's sometimes in your soil you could have, there you go, Freedom Factory, thank you. You could have a lot of phos in there, but it's not necessarily releasing properly, so just adding a little bit could really help. So let's see here, roll back up here. There's a ton of stuff. I just missed a whole lot here. Hello from Australia. Good morning. Hey, I live in Israel. We have about 120 days. Can I grow bluegrass? Yakov, I kind of, I would doubt it. I mean, what I see growing mostly when I go visit is paspalum. I know that the golf course up in, where is that? Doesn't matter. They're all growing paspalum and it works pretty well. And I know that there is some like El Toro, it almost looks like zoysia growing around. So that kind of stuff is probably going to be a little bit better for you and handle the heat way better. I got attacked by a dog food can. Just shredded right through. It was fantastic, but I didn't have my one glove on. Stanley, I do not know. You may just want to send an email for that. I have no idea about that. Rain and thunder releases a lot of N fast. A good thing to know about that, it does release nitrogen, or it transfers to make available nitrogen, but on average around the world, you get about 6 pounds of N per acre via rainfall. That's about what it is. So in areas where you get more rainfall and more thunderstorms, you're going to obviously get more about it. AutoZero, no, thank you. Everybody just sort of started asking questions and now it's gone. I think it had to do with the easy flow, but we're all going to learn about that in a second. Is urea nitrogen quick release versus non-urea laced nitrogen? Urea laced. So urea on its own is just soluble nitrogen. It has to be slowed down either by an enzymatic, like you were using a urease inhibitor, or it has to be coated with something in order to become slow release. It's basically just delayed release is all that is. So that's really all that is. It doesn't necessarily change the urea or the functionality, just what's going to slow it down slightly before the plant gets access to it. Got some section of my lawn dying. Oh, I just hit a button. Pull the soil plug and learn there's a large amount of rocks and sand about an inch below the thatch. Can I fix this by throwing something down? You can start to build up an upper layer if you start to use like compost, peat, topsoil, things like that, and bring your lawn up. Otherwise, you have rocks that are just going to be sitting there. Let's see. Yes. Put microgreen on the lawn today or go grill steaks before work. That's a good question. I don't know if I have a good answer for you. Any plan for Florida before the summer NP ban on St. Augustine? So we just typically feed heavy right up into that. So if you've got 1801 on hand, feed it all the way up, right up into the end of May, and then we run 002 pretty much 002 humic and dethatch for the time for the blackout time. It works really great. But the date is wrong on your video. Did I put April? I'll fix it. Anyway. All right, Drew. Soil test shows very low in phosphates in NP turf. What do you think? Yes, it would totally help. Green pop would make a big difference for you. The count has started, so we're going to end this. Let me just see if there's something else that I can answer here. Okay. Actually, so if you go down, Drew, you see that Paul said that you can use green pop on it only because your rate is going to be significantly lower than what you would typically put a starter fert on. You're not going to be getting pounds of in out. It's actually going to be only about a third, which can help kind of push it a little bit. Okay, I got to go over to the other side and start chatting on this. So I'm going to fix all my titling and all this kind of thing on this side, and I'll see you guys on the other side.